It's the 25th day in the month of November, and yes, the year is almost over. A lot of activities going on, and with that, I want to welcome you to the Newspaper Review here on Tap TV. My name is William Zabule, and together with me here on the show is Mr. Victor Sioku.
Thank you, sir.
You are welcome.
Thank you. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Okay,
I've been very all
okay.
right. So, and together we're going to go through the headlines across newspapers around Nigeria, and you're very much welcome to be a part of this by dropping your comments and the reactions on the comment section, because we really love to hear what you think about these headlines. Don't forget that we're also on other social media handles. We're on Facebook as Tap TV, on Instagram is Tap TV_NG. So connect with us on all of these platforms. We'd love to have you here because we have interesting programs lined up for your delight and, of course, information. All right, well, today we're going to go straight into the headlines, so let's get to the business of the day. We'll begin up newspaper reading today on the Nigerian Tribune. Nigerian Tribune says here, a delegate kicks as Oyetola appoints 30 permanent secretaries, 3 days to exit. Those who accept appointment will exit service from November 28. Oshu governor-elect threatens. Right. Also, we see here, court disqualifies Rivers APC governorship candidate Tonye Cole. Appeal court sets aside Boacha Binani's notification. Ogun PDP governorship Adebutu Lawal. No fate December 1st. All right, we'll move on to other headlines. It says here, adoption of Peter Obi, court count us out. Babachir on his own. Dogara's group's position will be made known at an interfaith event soon. Dogara Achuba, 6 others say. Why Northern Christians in APC adopted Obi Babachir? You'll find all of that details on page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune. Moving on to other stories, we see here, Soludo hugs Obi in Anambra, says, I will resolve differences with him soon. That detail is on page 26 of the Nigerian Tribune. And lastly, I'll take this one. It says, gunmen kill 9, injure 20 in Plateau community. So if you need to get details of us, of course, Nigerian Tribune is where you get the full details of those stories. But I'm going to come to you. Let's start from this very story that is somewhat directly connected to us here in River State. And that's the story of the governorship candidate of the APC here in River State, Pastor Tonye Cole, as it were.
Pastor Architect.
Yeah, Tonye Cole. And then the court, you know, he has been in court. He was dragged to the court by the PDP at some point, and they were challenging his eligibility of his candidacy and all of that. And now we see on the reports that he has been disqualified to feature in the elections. What do you think of that story?
Okay, well, I say I was surprised. Okay, yes, I also need to get into the details of the judgment. Okay, from the Federal High Court here in Port Harcourt. Okay, now, what are their case? That he has dual citizenship. Okay, so for the fact that he's a Nigerian and also a British, that has qualified him. That's on one ground, and the second ground that INEC did not supervise the APC's primary. If you can remember, that was the reason why they disqualified the candidates from the State House of Assembly. Okay, and I think the Federal House of Assembly too. So more like every position in the APC might just get disqualified. APC Rivers might just get disqualified. Okay, but now, there are very strong indications that the PDP, through the governor of the state, Wike, has been the one funding these proceedings, these cases. And it is not also surprising that other parties are also voicing out their anger.
Because they're also in court. It's not only the APC that was dragged to court. The Accord Party was also dragged to court. The SDP candidate was also dragged to court.
Labour Party.
So you begin to ask, is it possible that all the other parties except the PDP got it right, and that has been the confusion in the state. And then why is it that for every elections that as such as this one that comes up, there's always the move by the PDP or the ruling party to want to shut down other parties, either by court injunctions or they find some kind of loopholes to cage people so they become the sole party running for elections. I mean, we saw this played out the last time too in 2019 or so,
2019,
where there was no APC candidate on the ballot, and the APC had to adopt the AA candidate to toggle it out with the now current governor of the state, and it was quite a battle. But at the end of the day, the PDP still won. But then it looks as if the same scenario is playing out again.
Yes, yes. And if you also check, okay, not just using the court, yes, but some persons are saying Wike has the court, okay, because he has also invested. Let's not also shy away that the government of the Rivers State has invested so much in the judiciary, okay, be it in infrastructure, be it in non-infrastructure,
welfare, and all of that.
Okay, so and just recently, come on, he gave them an MBA, and come on, he gave them a law school. Okay, now, now, if you also check from the side of the campaigns, how the campaigns has been going, how they have been releasing executive orders that people are not also happy with, especially the opposition parties are not also happy with it, because
they are not.
The clauses that are enshrined under these executive orders are not in quote democratic, they say. Okay, now look at the Labour Party's house, that's their campaign house in D-Line, has been marked. It has been marked not for demolition, for them to evacuate. Okay, because they say that particular area is a residential place that they are supposed to have applied to the Commissioner of Urban and Planning for them to give them approval to use such facility as a campaign place. Okay, well, now come to think, see,
but then politics. The PDP campaign office for the PDP governorship candidate is in GRA.
It's in GRA.
In a central residential area, for Christ's sake, man. I don't understand how these things work.
Also, why would you be tackling campaign houses, okay, and you don't attack businesses? Now, GRA, in quote, should be a residential area.
Yeah.
Then you have businesses there. D-Line should be residential area. You still have businesses there. In fact, you have big churches there. Yeah. So, will you just now concentrate on parties having their campaign offices there? What about other offices? That means you have to evacuate all of them. Okay, but now going to the other side of the news, the former governor of the state, Rotimi, okay, barrister now, he's now a lawyer. Barrister Rotimi Amechi, right honorable. Okay, let me give you all that. Okay, he came out, he made some, let's say some statements. Okay, and what did he say? He said that the government of today have forgotten that tomorrow they will leave office.
True.
Just like he has left office. Okay, that the government of Wike should stop stepping on people's toes. Okay, because at the end of the day, no matter how you say that this person will work for you, the person might not just work for you again. You need to leave office and know that you've left the office. Okay, and also he mentioned one thing that that people might be thinking that he did not achieve a lot. Okay, but they should know that the Wike has been very vocal about his flyovers, but they should also know that he built 5 strategic flyovers. Mr. Bule, I want to mention some flyovers for you. Okay, if you check in Rivers State, Eleme flyover, it's a very, very important flyover in this town. Just imagine that there's no Eleme flyover. What about the Obirikwere flyover?
Oh yeah, that one is it's a landmark.
Yes. Now he is trying to also quantify that. See, he did not just build the regular flyover that you just from down you up and you go. Mind you, many of these flyovers that I mentioned are more like finger flyovers. As in, you go in, you can take your right, still a flyover, take your left, still a flyover, go north, still a flyover. Meaning that he's trying to tell you that his flyovers are not the regular flyovers.
Yeah.
Man, that might just be another discussion for another. But I'm just trying to also educate our viewers.
Yeah.
Tell them, see, I'm not downplaying the flyovers that Wike has done, okay? But yes, we should also speak the truth about Amechi. Okay. Something else that I also mark for Amechi is that in terms of education, okay, mind you, that man built schools.
Yeah, invested a lot in education and health too.
A friend of mine got a teaching job. That, mind you, he employed 10,000 teachers back then. So when you also equate his jobs, compare it with the Wike's job, you find out that, see, in terms of human empowerment, see, I need to also be very, very, it is my view, okay, but I need to say this, that Wike has not empowered Rivers people.
But one would argue that he employed recently over 200,000 Rivers people.
That is it. But that's a 200,000. Some persons are saying that he's vote buying. And you don't ask. Well, we don't know. We don't know. But those are.
They are just allegations.
Allegations, okay. But you also ask, okay, those people that he has employed, what are they doing? What are they doing?
They are political aides.
Political aides?
Special
what
advisors.
are they bringing to the? What are they bringing to the economy of the state?
He calls them special advisors. They are meant to help him win the next election. He's in office.
Okay.
But he has a candidate of interest that he has been parading everywhere. So he wants to ensure that that candidate wins election, and he has appointed 200,000 Rivers indigents to help achieve that.
Then you ask why now?
All right. Yeah, of course, he wants to win election. He doesn't want to leave any stone unturned. So he has employed them, and they are under the payroll of the state. And I believe if he succeeds in bringing in his successor, I'm sure these employments will stay. They will be retained. They will not be relieved of their duty. But if that is not the case, I'm so sure that any government that comes in will relieve these people of their job.
Yeah.
But then, if you're talking about human capital investment or empowerment, as it were, that can be argued and said, okay, 200,000 is way more than the 10,000 you were referring
for teachers, okay.
Yes. It's way more than it.
Okay. Okay. Lastly, the former governor also highlighted that about 35% of Rivers people have not decided on who to vote for with respect to the ANAP Foundation poll, as in conducted by Atedo Peter side. Okay, that 35% of Rivers indigenes or Rivers people have not decided. Okay, meaning that he's telling his people, the APC people, that they should not mind whatever tactics the state government is using against them, that they should go out there and campaign. Okay, but also I also want to state this to the Rivers State government. See, yes, these are still insinuations that the Rivers State government is fighting other political parties, but I also want an election whereby we have options.
Not the Rivers State government. It is the PDP.
Okay, the PDP
that is putting up a big or very strong resistance to the other parties. And of course, we know that the current governor is a PDP member, so it looks as if he's the one, out for these other political parties, since he's the political leader here in Rivers State. And but I like it to put it the way it is, the PDP. It's not a state government, as it were, but the PDP that is headed by the governor of the state. And it's been, I must say that there's been a lot of outcry as to what the governor is doing, that there's no level playing ground for other political parties to express themselves the way it should have been done. It's an election. It's not a selection. It's an election where everybody should come and openly contest and let Rivers people decide who they want. But this one is almost like an imposition where, other political parties are crying out to say that the state governor, who is the leader of the PDP, is trying to impose on them a candidate that Rivers people don't even know. Because, truth be told, the candidate of the PDP has not spoken to Rivers people at any point in time. I've not seen any interview. If you have seen,
I haven't.
I've not heard either on radio or TV him talking to Rivers people the way other candidates have been doing. So there's been an outcry from a lot of quarters and concern as to what is going on. That, okay, despite the fact that Wike has contributed his own quarter as a state governor to the development of the state, which is actually the right thing to do by any state government, that while in office, you go and embark on developmental projects like the ones Wike have done. There's no comparison. I don't enjoy it when we try to say that, oh, Wike has done more than Amechi, because these are their responsibilities. It is expected of them to protect lives and property and to, to develop the state, as it were. Wike has done his part by engaging in so much infrastructural development, not so much in human capital, but in infrastructural development here and there. Some people will also argue and say he didn't touch health, he didn't touch education so much. He did touch all of these areas in bits and pieces, but more on infrastructural development that we can feel, like the roads and the flyovers. I can also go on to say that River State has become a more beautiful state under Wike's administration.
Sure.
It has a more beautiful feel and look in terms of street lights, the beauty. A lot has changed, which is supposed to be the regular. This is also happening in Lagos State, where they have a blueprint for development. So governor come, governor go. They follow through this blueprint to develop the state. So, and Lagos State people are enjoying that. We in River State, we should also have a replica of that here, so that we kill this comparison of Wike has done more. It should be that the next governor, these are the expectations we have for this governor. When he come in,
you need to do more.
He should do more. Follow the blueprint on ground. For me, my expectations are not any less, despite the fact that it looks like the PDP are still going to continue in governance here. My expectations are not any less. I expect that the next governor should do more than the outgoing and all of that. So there's a lot to this. But as relating to Tony Scholes' disqualification, for me, I don't know what kind of game the PDP is trying to play, but they should have just allowed it, since they feel that they are the champions of the state. They should have allowed it to be a fair fight, not killing your candidate or killing your opponent before the fight, as it were, or before the open field battle. I don't think it's a good thing. If this is true, if this is a confirmed report that yes, he's been disqualified, thereby leading up to the fact that he might not appear on the ballot paper.
But they are going to appeal it.
Of course, they're going to appeal it, but the time frame as to when this appeal will go through proceedings and all of that and come out to favor them, that's what we don't know. It might lead beyond the elections period, and that will lead to a more
and that will reduce his energy.
Yeah, of course.
Getting such a news during your campaign period, it will drop your morale.
And also the candidate of the Accord Party and the SDP too are also complaining of the fact that they don't understand how they are in court with the PDP when elections are just a few months away. What are they trying to do? In my own opinion, I feel they should allow everybody to contest fairly and freely. Let Rivers people decide who will govern them, and I think it would be. All these ones are just something else. All right, we're going to move on to our next story, and I'd like us to talk about Count Us Out, Babache, on his own Dogara's group. Says that the group's position will be made known at the interfaith event soon. Dogara Achuba 6 orders say. Why Northern Christians in APC adopted OP by Babache. Interesting story there. I'd like you to react to that.
Okay, Babache reminds me of Babache was secretary to the state government. Okay, the first time of the Buhari's reign. Okay. And he reminds me of EFCC. Anytime I see Babache, I remember the EFCC. Oh yeah, congratulations about your report.
Yeah,
the EFCC
very
yesterday.
True,
How was it out
I
there?
had an interesting time with officials of the EFCC. They had called journalists in River State for an enlightenment about their activities. And it was quite interesting to know that the EFCC is doing a lot in fighting against cyber crimes. And, just sitting down there, listening to them yesterday, made me imagine the fact that, imagine if they were not doing anything. My brother, we would have been finished. We would have been finished. It also opened my eyes to the attacks that banks, businesses, private individuals face on the daily through cyber crimes. And these guys are not relenting. Day after day, they are advancing in different technological means of trying to, break down, the defenses of the EFCC and all of that. So when people report every time and say, oh, the EFCC is onto us again, I get to find out that sometimes, yes, celebrities come out to say EFCC invaded my home, they did this to me, they did that to me. Meanwhile, they had just covered their tracks. And based on the fact that, you know, the EFCC works in a kind of way that they deal on evidences. Either they trace an IP address to your house, but then if you have been able to cover your tracks, they will not be able to arrest you based on the fact that they don't have evidence. So they let you go. And then you hear people say, oh, I will sue the EFCC 50 billion for this, for that. But then if you trace it back to how it all, you know, drags them to that position, you find out that both politicians, celebrities, big, well-meaning Nigerians in our society are culpable of most of these crimes that the EFCC fight every day. And of course, we got to know some of the challenges that they face, ranging from, you know, slow pace of the judicial system, and then also political powers that protects their own and all of that. And then we know that they've been able to get some convictions in court, well over 3,000 convictions and all of that. Quite an achievement by the EFCC. But then there's still a lot to be done from the judicial aspect, from the government. The government, I think they still need more support from the Nigerian government for them to do their job very well. There's a lot going on in fighting crimes, not just you know, cyber crimes, economic crimes, different kind of, you know, financial you know, crimes that are out there that the EFCC is doing a lot about. And so I must commend them, kudos to them, and I also thank the River State chapter for having that media pally with journalists here in River State. That's really enlightened us. And what we asked is that we begged them to always give us access to always, you know, confirm most of the stories that we pick up here and there. But it was quite an interesting
and
time.
I was surprised when you mentioned that 70% of undergraduates, okay, out of the offenders of cybercrime offenders, that 70% of them are undergraduates.
And you know, when he said that, it was really strange, because yes, it goes to tell you that a lot of our youths are very, how would I put it? They are smart, they are productive in terms of technology, but they are being channeled to the wrong area. So you see them engaging in, you know, get rich quick schemes like doing cyber crimes and all of that. 70% is a huge percentage compared to what we thought was out there. These young people are engaging in the Yahoo Yahoo thing, as it were, or crimes and all of those things. And it's very disturbing. So we asked the question of how what have they been doing to try to, you know, change the orientation in the minds of these people. They let us know that they've been doing a lot. They go to schools, they go to churches, they work with the National Orientation Agency to try to, you know, enlighten young people that, man, this same thing that you engage in as crime to make money, you can also go the positive way, coding, hacking. We got to also find out that there are 3 kinds of hackers. They have the black hat, the purple hat, and of course the white hat. You can choose to be a white hat hacker and make millions of dollars from being just a white hat hacker. So it doesn't have to be that you do G. The G thing that you do also has a positive side that you can channel. So why don't you choose the good? Because if you go the bad way, you end up in jail. Someday it's just a matter of time. They will always track you down. And, you know, with the technological advancement that the EFCC has in their possession, I can tell you that they have gone a long way in combating the highest level of cyber crimes here in the country. And they are ready to do more. They just need more support from the government. Yeah. All right. Well, so, yeah, it was an interesting time. Yes.
So just shortly, Baba Chair, being the former Secretary General of the Federation, like I mentioned, he had issues with EFCC because of an alleged fraud of over 500 million naira, and he won the case. Okay, the EFCC are currently appealing. Okay, and he has also come out right now to say that he is supporting the candidate of Peter Obi. Reason, he is formerly from the APC. And will I even say that he's out of APC? You know, right now, people do not even care. Parties do not even care about inter-party activities again. No, nobody is striking anybody for that. True, okay, right now. Okay. So, but, he is, let me keep it at faction. Okay. A faction that includes Dogara, okay, the former Speaker of the House of Representatives. Okay. They came together to go against the Muslim ticket of the APC. They are really going hard on the Muslim TK thing. But I need to also tell you right now that even that faction of Dogara and Babachir has created another faction, because Babachir has pulled out from the faction of the Dogaras that he is supporting P2B. Why the Dogaras faction? Why the other primary faction are saying that they have not made up their mind on who to support. Okay, well, part of the details that he said that Tinubu will not win the north because that Atiku has a bigger force up there in the north. Okay, that him using the Muslim ticket thing, that he has even reduced the number of voters in the north because the Christians are even totally against him, and they don't even see him, that Northerners, they don't see him as the true northern person. Okay, but yes, that he will win the southwest votes because of the it is our turn syndrome that is happening there. And he gave it all up for P2B, saying that when you see the North Central, that P2B will take the North Central. And yes, the Northeast and the Northwest, it is favorable for Atiku, but P2B will be able to get 25%. And you know, you need to get up to 25% of 24 states before you can be declared winner of the election. And he also said that it's possible that there might just be a runoff in this election. Well, those are his predictions. Let's see how it flows.
Yeah, we really need to, keep our eyes on that story and see how it goes. But before we go into our next paper, we need to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to take our two last papers for the day. You stay tuned. Now that you have registered for your PVC, it doesn't stop there. Ensure you pick up your PVC. Be alert. Join many Nigerians to vote credible leaders that will change the tide of this nation. Do not sell your vote. Remember, this is our future. Your vote is your voice.
This message is proudly brought to you by Thav Media Limited.
All right, you're welcome back from that short break. We want to thank you so much for staying with us up to this time. We'll continue with our newspaper headlines, and we'll go on to the Vanguard newspaper for today, the 25th of November, 2022. And on the Vanguard here, we see as headlines, Nigeria's growth momentum slows to 2.25% in third quarter of 2022. That detail you find on page 19 of the Vanguard newspaper. We also see at the top, it says, no rift between Obi and me. Soludo speaking there. Right, we move downwards. It says here, APC makes U-turn, declares support for beavers. IREV. You get details on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper. As the main headline, it says, brain drain. We now have one doctor to 6,400 patients. Medical experts say Nigeria in emergency situation. 38.7% of Nigerians suffer healthcare depreciation. NBS report as NMA asks federal government to act fast. You get all the details on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. All right, I'll come to you. Isn't this an alarming report? It says we now have one doctor to 6,400 patients. That is quite a disturbing revelation. How do you react to that?
That is an average, Mr. Abule, because if you go to the up north, you get a situation whereby one doctor will be servicing 30,000 persons.
The whole community.
As in, even sometimes it might even take the patient to make a 30-kilometer trip before the person sees a doctor. Now check out, 30-kilometer trip. That's like from Port Harcourt to Aba.
So if there's an emergency,
the person will not work now.
No,
are you even talking about what about? Are we talking about other healthcare facilities that are needed, like ambulance and the crew and the likes? Come on, it is a very crazy one out here now. Yes, this is as a result of brain drain, majorly because of brain drain. Okay, and Nigeria also, our education system, we are not also churning out the best hands. Okay, now we're talking about licensed doctors. We just have about 24,000 licensed doctors in a population of almost 220 million Nigerians. We just have only 24,000 licensed doctors, whereby by World Health Organization standard, we should be having like a doctor to 600 patients. But in this case, in up north, you have one doctor to 90,000. Yes, I mentioned 6,000 for that is when you come to areas like Port Harcourt and Atiku, okay, metropolitan areas, okay. But now, how many do we need? In fact, we've not even met, out of this 24,000 we are talking about, we've not even met 10% of World Health Organization standards. Right now, Nigeria needs about 363,000 doctors.
Yeah.
363,000 doctors. That's all we need. And we are just running around 24,000. That is to tell you there are serious issues happening. Now, it is not even just about infrastructure. Like if you go, like we're talking about the candidate of Abechi and Wike, their infrastructure development in the healthcare sector. But which doctors will man them now at the end of the day? And knowing that even when it comes to pay,
they don't pay
them enough.
And that has encouraged a lot of the exodus.
Yes. And yes, some doctors, when they come in their year one or before year one, they say, oh, I want to save lives. Oh, I want to save lives. Oh. My brother, at the end of the day, when the economy hits hard on you, you have a rethink and be like, man, I do not spend all these years because getting a medical degree, it's not beans. I did not spend all these years. My parents did not invest so much on me. At the end of the day, I'd be earning 150,000 naira in a private hospital in Lagos. Why would I be earning 150,000 naira as a medical doctor in Lagos? Really Lagos that you know that the house rent will just only your salary house rent will just take all of them. So why won't you make way to travel out of the country? Why won't you go to the UK? Why won't you go to the US? In fact, if the UK and the US are too hard for you, you go to Saudi Arabia because they will open their hands and collect you.
Yeah, because doctors are in high demand all over the world, and
Middle East, and
there are never enough doctors. There are never enough doctors. But I wonder why, because doctors are a very important integral part of our well-being. I just imagine every time that you have your car has an issue and you don't have mechanics to take care of it, it leads to you dumping the car, or the car is totally a write-off. And then talk more of human lives, where you don't have people to fix little things as malaria or headaches that could save the person's life. And so we lose valuable people, loved ones and all of that, because we have a government that is insensitive to issues or matters like this, or to sectors as like the health sector that requires so much to be done, but yet receives very little attention even in our budget and all of that. So it's something that the government needs to look into and on time too. All right, we need to move on. Let's leave it there. Another day, we're still going to go into this matter. It doesn't ever finish.
No. There's a lot to talk about.
But then we'll take our last paper for the day, and that will be the Daily Independent. And on the Daily Independent here, we have as headlines, we see poor productive activities drag Nigeria's GDP down to 2.25%. Lagos records lowest robbery incidents in decades. All right, we'll move on to the main headlines on the Daily Independent. It says here, APC recants, backs BVAS, e-transmission of poll results. PDP blasts ruling party over BVAS. IREF, portal rejection. All right, all of that details you'll find on the Daily Independent newspaper. We'll move downwards on that same paper. It says, federal government reintroduces history in basic education curriculum. All right, I'll take this one. It says, Obasanjo asks youths not to allow those messing them up to succeed. You find that details on page 7 of the Daily Independent. I'm just going to leave it there. I'll come to you. Which of the stories here on the Daily Independent you like to react to?
At this point, let me just do a bit of a political roundup. Okay. And we'll start with, let's start with Labour Party. Okay. Soludo and Mr. B met. And you know, they had a rift. Yeah. Okay. And yes, they met and they were just hugging each other and we were just happy and exchanging pleasantries. Okay. Yeah, this happened in Oka, happened in the Catholic, the Bishop of the Catholic Diocese of Oka, that's Reverend Paulinus Ezigwe. He turned 70 years old, and you know, Anambra and their Catholic church, they don't blame that. They don't. So they came together, the current governor and former governor and other dignitaries, to mark the birthday of this bishop. Okay, so they came together, they hugged, and come to think of it, yes, Nigerians have already started going against each other. I mean the common man on the street going each other. Soludo did this, Soludo did not do that. Peter did this, Peter. At the end of the day, they met, they hugged, and man, they are living on, they are moving on. Okay, so please, mind you, It's the election season. These guys are friends,
Yeah.
okay? They are not foes, they are friends at the end of the day, okay? Now to the PDP, the promises are coming, okay? They are dishing out promises here and there, okay? So what did Atiku say, the presidential candidate of the PDP? That he will be budgeting 10 billion. $10 billion, not naira, $10 billion for women and youth. And you know, ask the question, where will he be bringing out the money from? 10 billion naira. I'm just calling naira because it's very realistic to call it naira, but he's calling it dollars. So I don't know where he's going to pull that money out from. But yeah, they had a very colorful campaign in Kwara State, and Bukola Saraki as the big host was there, and songs, and I saw Ayo was in front of the truck and he was waving. I know that when what's his name, Governor Wike will see such a video, he might just be going gaga.
Oh well, they had their time, they had their moments over the weekend too, when they gathered in Abia State, and they had the G5 moment. We saw them dance, we saw them do all sorts to try to throw shades at PDP and the current chairman of the party. So I mean, he should understand that it's not only the monopoly or the enjoyment or the throwing of shade is not only for him.
Then lastly, lastly to the APC, Tinubu, Bola Ahmed Tinubu was in Abakaliki in Ebonyi State, okay? And yes, he made his own promise. What was his own promise? That he will negotiate with Southeasterners and make sure that their agitation, they will come at the middle and they will settle things. Well, those are the promises. Sorry for the SDPs and the YPPs, and we already know that these are just the three major parties.
Yes, and thank you very much. I want to thank you for that in-depth, round of all the political activities that took place within the last few days. And to our viewers, I want to thank you so much, but unfortunately, this is where we're going to draw the curtain for today's program. We know the weekend is here. It's a Friday. Make sure you stay safe as you go out there to want to relax or have fun or go about your daily activities. Ensure you're safe and know where you go to, because these times are really, really challenging. Just yesterday here in River State, 3 policemen were gunned down, not very far away from where we broadcast from. And that was because, the person they were securing was kidnapped. And these 3 police officers lost their life. Such an unfortunate situation. So as you go out there, moving around, please ensure you stay safe and stay out of trouble.
And I need to say this, it's very unfair that Nigerians will not want to talk to the press in incidents like that, because our correspondent was there, and people were not ready to talk.
I've
talk.
always wondered why it's like that. So you're not the one that shot anybody, you were just around the place. Thank God you had survived that kind of traumatic experience. But then why do people shy away or run away from interviews like what happened here? What do you think happened as an eyewitness? They run away. They tell you, I don't want police trouble, or I don't. Is that how the police operates in Nigeria? I don't know, but I don't think that's how the police operates. So please, when you see journalists approach you for any sort of interviews about eyewitness, please feel free to do it if you have the confidence to. Nothing will go wrong because you haven't committed any crime. You didn't say you're going to blow up the Aso Rock, so please, just say what you saw. That's it. All right, thank you so much once again. Till next time we come your way again. My name is William Sabule, and this has been the New Super Review on TAP TV.